My biggest concern is the RCMP stressed, or they're looking for our people to drop charges. We have a Native woman here in our community that was assaulted, and to call the RCMP out for even suggesting that those people drop their charges. Otherwise, in time, we'll be looking to hold them accountable as well. So would I put these questions now, or?
No, sir, let's go to Ron.
Go to Ron, yeah.
Thank you, Chief. I'm here to give you an outline of the various legal pursuits we're engaging in on behalf of this community and this government. So first of all, of course, we have the injunction which we received a couple weeks ago, and we're going to continue that with another application in early December, or mid-December actually, for a purpose of more protection for the fishers of this community. We have another action, we have a constitutional action against the province of Nova Scotia for the fish buyers regulation, which prohibit us to sell our lobster to buyers, and we're going to challenge that. We have a variety of actions that we're also pursuing, the injuries to individuals, disruption of their fishing by certain individuals. We're going to have lawsuits against all those people who interfere with our fishery. We have lawsuits planned against the RCMP, against and complaints against certain members of the RCMP for what they did and didn't do. We have lawsuits planned against fish buyers and community businesses who refused to deal with us because we were Aboriginal. We have human rights complaints to proceed with against individuals, and we have individual fishers are going to sue individuals in the Southwest Nova Scotia community for what they did to our members. We have a variety of other matters that we're also considering. DFO, how they interfered with, hurt our commercial fishery, and we have those businesses who have acted in a manner which we believe will and does impact our ability to do business, so we'll be contemplating actions against them. There's a large number of legal actions which are on the plate, which we intend to follow up on, because we are not going to allow this discrimination and bully tactics by the federal government and their agencies against us. It's simply unfair, and what it does, it simply continues to allow the white community to have the Aboriginal community as second-class citizens in this province, in this nation, and that's just not acceptable. We're not going to put up with it anymore, and we're going to stand our ground, and that's what we intend to do with all these actions combined. Okay? Thank you.
Yeah, we'll hold for questions right after we have Rosalie.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rosalie Francis. I'm a Mi'kmaq lawyer, also a Sebeganegedy band member. My role here is to provide support to the band in discussions with Canada, specifically DFO. Currently, we're involved in active discussions with DFO. Our goals in those discussions, number one, is to ensure that members continue to be able to exercise their treaty rights safely and without harm. Secondly, we're there to have discussions with DFO to ensure that they acknowledge and recognize our treaty right to harvest and sell fish as a lawful fishery. Canada has already recognized that our rights are legal, our fishery is legal, as a statement that was released by Minister Jordan and Minister Bennett some weeks ago. So we are optimistic that our discussions will go well in the number of weeks coming. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Chief, we'll take some questions, and Mr. Pankin, we can have you just sort of stand by if there's any questions. All right.
Are you and your lawyer going to proceed with lawsuits, or are you considering lawsuits?
No, right now, we're actually gathering information to pursue those lawsuits.
What are you refer in your news release to actions others didn't see, that sort of thing? How are you, what, can you give examples? What is it that you are referring to there?
Just the strain it's put on our community. You know, the whole reason we're there is to make our community better, and bring it up to a better standard of living. People don't see the frustrations that our people are going through, and for that, it's, you know, they think it's just cutting their traps or taking their gear, but it's more than that. It's, you know, it's cutting or taking the food off their family's table.
Chief, you talked about holding DFO accountable. I didn't hear DFO mentioned in the list of lawsuits that we've heard about, but is there legal recourse that you're planning on taking against the DFO officials?
Yes, 100%. They stood by and watched our people, you know, their traps being taken and lines being cut. We called them on a number of occasions that are, you know, commercial fishermen are out there fishing out of season by taking our people's gear and infringing on our right. And DFO would not respond or response to it at all. And they'd show up weeks later when nobody's around and start hauling traps again. And for us, it's unacceptable.
Do you have any concern that all this legal action might actually continue or heighten the tension that we've seen over the Clearwater livelihood fishery?
Not at all. I think that anything, it calms it down. You know, if charges were laid right off the get-go, it wouldn't be where we're at today. So I think the legal action will hurt some of their pockets, and maybe it puts a stop to it, and they'll recognize what we have going on is lawful and respect that.
When it comes to the status of the management plan, I understand, we got a copy of it today, and I understand it's the final line. What does that mean?
Yeah, our management plan is good. We've put it in front of DFO. They like it. It's just a matter of us. The big hiccup right now is who's going to issue the license. And I think both of us want to issue that license. And for us, it's not an issue. It's going to be us, or we'll just continue to fish without.
So what's left on the table to discuss with DFO?
We're hoping to have a conversation with DFO tomorrow in regards to them accepting us issuing our own license.
When it comes to the RCMP, you talk about disappointment in the charges they've laid. In some cases, they're still investigating. You know, do you feel like you should wait for that process to finish, or do you feel like, you know, there should be more charges laid right now?
No, right now. We've all seen in the last number of years all across Canada that, you know, First Nations people have just been pushed aside, and those cases are just left on a desk until everybody forgets about it. And that's not going to happen here. Like, they're going to be held accountable one way or another.
Are you worried that, you know, speaking of a lawsuit against DFO, will affect your meeting tomorrow and kind of the progress you're trying to make there?
Not at all. No. We're exercising our right to fish, so that's what we're doing. And the lawsuit's holding them accountable from what they didn't do when they're supposed to.
I sense you're feeling very emotional. How are you feeling today talking about this?
Yeah, it's good. It's frustrating. You know, our people are just looking to fish and provide for their families, and there's a whole group of people that are trying to stop it. And it's for us, it shouldn't matter. We shouldn't even have to be fighting about this or here talking about it. It's should be fishing and enjoying life and providing better for our community.
Chief Sack, since the injunction came into play, have you seen more violence or more harassment, more intimidation, or has that injunction done its job?
The injunction is working very well. It's keeping a lot of people away. I think those couple of charges that were laid also helped, right? So, you know, that injunction for us was a good thing. It's crazy we had to do that, right? But it's thankful that we're accountable, and we're going to ensure that happens.
You said you've got video, sorry, one more question. You said you've got video of much of the evidence here, and it's in the RCMP's hands. They're flat out, your words are saying, they're trying to get people to not pursue. Just your thoughts on the RCMP's actions.
Yeah, so for us, I couldn't believe it when I was told that they actually said that they had bigger cases to worry about. And for me, a burning van is not bigger than assault on one of our Mi'kmaq women. That just speaks volumes. Like, I put them on a pedestal, and they take care of our community, and, you know, we'll fight for them till the end. And for that, like, for the commissioner to say that, you know, they're working through it and they're doing the best they can, that's crazy.
How
Obviously,
many
they're not.
lawsuits are we looking at here potentially?
There would be hundreds.
Hundreds of lawsuits.
Can you describe specifically how RCMP have discouraged community members from pursuing charges?
Yeah, the members were told that do they really want to press charges because the RCMP have bigger things to worry about.
What would lead to, or what would avoid, as you said, this is a not definite lawsuits, this could happen, right? Not
More
definite.
we're heading down the road, like
Yeah, but it's not definite.
No, we're pushing forward. We have a big legal team working on it, and we're going that way.
Okay, so what would be a factor be to allay your concerns and lead to the lawsuits not taking place? Or are they not, are they going ahead no matter what?
I think we can have Mr. Pink address some of.
Yeah, we could have our legal team address that question if.
Before we get to that, while you're still there, Chief, I'd like to talk about the sale of Clearwater. Specifically, what is the financial stake that Spaghetti has or could have in ownership of Clearwater?
It's an equal split, so the communities that are involved will all, split it up equal and go on to, on task for that. Like we're splitting it up between 7 communities, so risk versus reward. I guess we'll all share that benefit or not.
And how will this, if at all, change the problem that you've had in your ability to sell your catch recently?
It's 2 separate things. The Clearwater deal for us was an economic development opportunity, so we're pursuing that as a community to help better our community and our, to fix some of our problems we have. But as far as fishing for our exercising our right, it's 2 totally different things, and we're not going to mix the 2 together.
But will your moderate livelihood fishermen sell to Clearwater at all?
We're looking to establish our own buying and selling license and stuff, so we're going to take a different route, and we'll get to that point like very soon. We're looking to get back together as a community in a very time, so we'll know more then.
And so to be clear, the purchase of Clearwater will or will not solve your problem of not having anyone to sell some of your catches?
2 separately, we're working on a plan to sell our lobster now through our exercising our fisheries, through our rights fisheries, so we're keeping those separate. The other one's a big financial company, so it's separate, right? We're keeping it totally separate.
So it remains a problem. You have some catch that you're unable to sell.
Yeah, it does right now, yes.
Chief Sack, you mentioned with the DFO, you can't get a call back about dealing with how they've been treating community members for the moderate livelihood fishery. Have you brought this up with Minister Jordan in your negotiations for the moderate livelihood plan? Because other communities have said that, she's saying that there is a treaty right and it's a constitutional right, but yet on the ground, the DFO is doing the opposite. Have you brought this up to her in your negotiations or discussed with her?
We've expressed it a few times that the CMP on the ground is not really, acting in fairness, and but it doesn't seem like they're in good communications on their own end. So for us, we don't know how to speak to that one. It's we definitely express our concerns to all levels of government, and what we get on the ground level is something totally different. So we're working through that.
Are Sabaganaga fishers still out fishing right now? Or?
Yes, yeah, everyone's still fishing and things are going good so far.
What's your plan for the commercial fishery starting in about a week and a bit?
Yeah, we had a council meeting on Tuesday, and we had a motion made that we weren't going to, we can't fish. All of our license holders, our lessees don't want to risk their lives in doing so, and it's just not worth it for them, and we support them with that, and it's very unfortunate for our community. It's another very big loss, but of revenue all the way around, but lives are more valuable than some revenue.
And the moderate lively fishing plan that you gave us starts immediately?
That's been going since September 17th.
The moderate livelihood fishery that's going on now in Southwest, the commercial season is going to start up at the end of the month. Are you guys going to fish side by side through that season, through the winter?
Not right now, we're not, no. We have an area that we're fishing on, and tensions are too high, we're back up, and hopefully soon we'll be fishing side by side.
So your boats are going to be out of that area?
No, we're
When
not.
the commercial season starts, or no?
No, we're staying there.
You're going to stay there?
Yeah. Not sure where they're going.
Okay.
Did you want any other clarity on the legal
Yeah,
status?
I'm quite unclear, to be
Yeah,
honest.
okay, so I think maybe, because I think the status is there, things are moving forward. But I'll let the experts answer that.
So is there going to be a lawsuit?
Absolutely.
Okay. And for what kinds of injuries, what kinds of things are you hearing?
Assault, battery, interference with their livelihood, intimidation, all the things happened out in the water. We're going to name all the captains of all the boats who that we can find who were engaged in that sort of activity, and we're going to look for damage as a result.
So far, one injunction has been filed, as you already said. Has anything else been filed, or is it
No,
all still just pending?
no, we're still completing our investigation. We need to get all the documents and all the witnesses and all the statements and affidavits where necessary, all prepared. It takes quite a bit of effort to do that, but they're all well along the way.
So what's the timeline with them?
Oh, I expect in December.
That's when you expect all of these lawsuits
No,
to take
no,
off?
no, they'll come gradually, one after another, but we have some which are easier to file. Complaints before, with respect to RCMP behavior are easier to file than lawsuits for more significant issues.
What size of a legal team does it require to launch all of these lawsuits?
When you were asking that question, I was thinking the other day, I think there are 6 of us who are working on this matter,
Working on it full-time?
virtually.
So is there, this is sort of where you maybe it mixes with the chief, but is there something that could happen that could lead to withdrawal or, let's say, negotiated a moderate livelihood system, or I'm not sure. Is there anything that could lead to this coming to an end in order to calm tensions and so on?
That would be a community decision. That would not be, we would take instructions as we have to date, and we'll continue to take instructions. If instructions are to continue, we will. If the instructions are to try to resolve from position, we'll do that as well.
Okay, that's the question I meant, Chief. Is there something that would cause you to withdraw all these lawsuits? I mean, if we had a moderate livelihood agreement with DFO, I don't know.
Any arrangement that we do end up coming to does not change the fact that, criminal acts took place and our people went through definite hardship. So unless one of those, agreements had a time machine, then it doesn't change anything.
And I think you've answered this, but I've heard it said from non-Indigenous fishing groups that they worry that the allegations, which are not proven in court yet, will heighten tensions rather than calm tensions and make it more difficult to move forward in a peaceful way. What sort of thoughts do you have on that?
For me, it's, we haven't been in altercations. We're keeping it very calm, cool, and that injunction was for us to make it calm there. So we don't want to have any interference. We're not looking to fight with anyone. We're looking to keep peace and to build that relationship back up and to coexist in time.
I have a question for Mr. Pink. Could you describe specifically the action that's being taken against the province?
Yes, it's a constitutional challenge to say that the fish buyers regulations are unconstitutional because we can't sell our fish, obviously, because we can only sell to a registered fish buyer, and we say we don't. So that thus interferes with our ability to sell our moderate livelihood fishery for lobsters, for example, when it's out of season. We say that you have no authority, no constitutional jurisdiction to do that, firstly. And secondly, you violate our treaty rights for our moderate livelihood. It's a moderate livelihood. It's to earn income in a moderate fashion. And if we can't sell it because your law says no one can buy from us, that interferes with our moderate livelihood, which is our constitutional. It's our treaty right and a constitutional right. Sorry.
I'm sorry, we've heard from the Premier that he says he can't make any changes to provincial law until...
He's certainly not wanting to make a decision, not wanting to interfere. It's political for their rights. We have the constitutional right to fish and earn a moderate livelihood, and if your law prohibits us from, from selling in order to gain that moderate livelihood, it's unconstitutional, breaches our treaty right. That's our position, and he knows it. But that's his position. We'll just have to accept that, and that's what makes the case. He could change it in the morning, but he won't.
Do you think the law should be struck down entirely or amended?
Yes, struck down as it relates to our moderate livelihood. They could exempt us from it, for sure.
Is timeliness issue, I think, is that section 32, sorry?
Yeah,
Yeah, 30, so section 35 challenge, could take...
Oh, yes, for sure. It won't happen overnight, that's for sure.
So
And I appreciate it. But if we don't start, no one will put it on the table. So we started, we have filed our notice, and we have a few more weeks to file relevant affidavits, which we'll do, and then we'll go from there.
So you have filed a notice against
Oh,
the
yes.
province for this
Oh, yes.
particular issue?
Yes.
Okay. What date was that filed?
Ooh, you got me.
Your reference to the RCMP, that's the RCMP
Yes.
Public Complaints Commission process. Have any actually been sent in yet?
No, they're just finishing being drafted as we speak.
Okay.
You mentioned the lawsuits, some against the RCMP and some against members of the RCMP. Does that include Commissioner Lucky? Because,
No.
no?
No, it'd be against the RCMP generically. Okay? Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.